many of you. Just before we start today, I would like to just start with a couple of reminders, webinar reminders. So please do mute your microphone just to minimize any background noise. There'll be a presentation today, followed by an opportunity for questions. For the questions, we would ask you to use the chat function. Please do either type your question into the chat function. We can then read out the question at the end and address it, or signal that you'd like to take the floor, and we will also give you the floor at the end so that you can ask your question directly. As I say, that will be at the end of the presentation today. Also, please bear with us. There's always a slight viewing delay with slides, so there's a little couple of seconds before they come up. Also, a reminder that today we will be recording this meeting. That's for those people who can't join us, who might like to listen back afterwards. And again, we always like to see you, so please don't hesitate to put your cameras on. So we are very excited to be seeing you today with less than 2 weeks to go till our big event. Our agenda today, we would like to take you through everything you need to know about the event, both practical and all the interesting information that we have to share with you today. So you'll be hearing both from the Chile hosts themselves and from the Secretariat today. Firstly, from the Chile hosts for logistics and event program, and also a sort of preview of some of the things which will be going onto the website later this week. Then we'll be hearing from the Secretariat for interesting information about the Ministerial Plenary, about some of the target outcomes from CEM 12, and then again onto communications. As I said, this will be followed by an opportunity for any questions you may have. Don't hesitate to put those questions into chat at any time, and we'll come to them at the end. So without further ado, I shall hand on to our Chile hosts, and they will take us through the first part of the presentation today. Thank you, Javiera.
Thank you very much, Jane. It's really exciting, as you say, that we are just 13 days away from our big event. The first thing to say will be that the registrations are open has been open for over a week. Thank you for taking the time to join us for our last member call before CEM 12, 13 days to go. This year event will be 100% virtual and open to the public. Can you, with a dynamic events programs covering a wide range of clean energy discussions. I think I have like another microphone open because I can hear with an echo.
I think some people may need to mute their microphones. Please do so if you have your microphone open.
Okay, I will go again then. We have a variety of formats and not limited to one time zone. CEM 12 is a critical meeting happening in a critical year of clean energy action. It builds on events like the UK IEA Net Zero Summit and the US Climate Summit before it, and lead ups to the pivotal COP26 meeting at the end of the year. As such, the theme of this year CEM is Ambition into Action, turning a year of ambition into a decade of delivery. This year program delivers CEM's largest program of clean energy events, bringing together our global energy community to showcase action and demonstrate leadership. To access this week of events, members of the CEM community should register via the website. There you have the website in your slide, CEM12mi6chile.com. This will provide you access to our on-demand content, live events, trigger talks, virtual expo, and library. For those who receive a special registration Excel, however, please instead submit your materials to us as soon as possible. The deadline for official delegations was yesterday. This will allow you to access to networking spaces and other limited access areas of the virtual experience. The registration details will be explained by Ricardo Jovel from the production team in a couple of minutes. About next slide, please. We will review a little bit of a logistics of the event and program website. there we are. The official events programs include on-demand launch events, live auditorium events, the Ministerial Plenary, and more. As today's discussion will overview the breadth of the events, and we won't have enough time to walk through technical questions and answers today, we provide a technical contact point for each of these events. Please reach out to them if you have any questions. I will walk through a couple of key events in the next few slides, but please go to the website to see the most updated agenda, as our events program is constantly updating. There in the slide, you can see the technical queries to contact CEM12mi6chile.com, all about the live launch events, about all the queries of the Ministerial Plenary. Next slide, please. As you can see, the events program is massive, with 20 that was kind of a Spanglish at this stage of the year. With 21 auditorium events, 9 trigger talks, there are 12 confirmed from now, a virtual expo, and more. There is a lot to see and participate in this year. After each of these events concludes, the content will move to the on-demand section for public viewing anytime. This is considering the time zones, so you can see always you will be able to see all the content. I'll draw your attention to 2 save the date events. One on the 1st of June, the launch of the 4 new bodies of work focused on industrial decarbonization, hydrogen ports, empowering people, and biofutures campaign, which the CEM Secretariat will talk about in more detail later. This week also include report launches, call to actions, awards, and high-level announcements across the clean energy space. To look over the list, what is in store, please visit the agenda online in the CEM12mi6 website. We will also share these slides after today's presentation. Next slide, please. In addition to high-level talks panels, fireside chats, podcasts, and other events, the CEM's annual high-level ministerial will also take place on June the 3rd. Open to all, the CEM event will include high-level leaders from across the clean energy space and a keynote presentation from Michael Bloomberg. As you can see, that's a detail that Jane didn't put me in the slides, but on Saturday and Sunday, you will be able to see all the content that was delivered during the week. Now I pass the floor, I think, to, no, this is mine as well. The side events, the CEM side events on demand, but what you saw recently in the auditorium, it's not all. In addition to our week for auditorium events, there is also content available on demand throughout the event. These pre-recorded contents allow participants to listen to event announcements, report launches, and panel discussion without technical difficulty or time zone challenges. Beginning by May 31st, the on-demand section of the platform will provide all the events list here. After the auditorium events are finished, the content will be added to the on-demand section, making the entire event digital and dynamic. I'll now pass the floor to Ricardo Jovel to explain the registration process. After that, Ricardo Contese will walk us through the website of the event. So, Ricardo, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Javiera. Am I being heard? I'm with you? Okay, thank you very much. I work with the production company that's working through all the technical issues and problems and getting all the audiovisuals done. We have been working, producing the auditorium side events. It has been a very pleasant experience. I see some of the organizers here, so thank you all for your good work. We think we are going to be able to produce everything on time and with the quality required for the event. I should talk about the registration process. I will take just a minute because the important thing today is to check the website, I think. So we have two ways of registering to this event. One is through the web page, which will be the general audience registration, and there you can access the web, and you will be able to put your email and your name, and then access all the networking experience through your profile, in which you will be able to upload your picture, your name, your email, and you will be able to access all the networking experience and all the auditorium experience and on-demand zones. We also have a special pre-registration process, which will be for the delegates, in which you will be sent, if not already been sent, a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet, where you can pre-register all your delegations members. This second process that I am talking about will be the one that will have all the authorization access through the limited access areas, like the plenaries and the networking areas for the high-level delegation members. So as Javiera said during her presentation, there are two mails that you can write about these things if you have any questions about registration. It will be registration.cem12mi6chile.com. There you will be, there is going to be one of my team answering all your questions and getting all your spreadsheets to be able to send you back once you send your plenary and the networking zone. My colleague Ricardo Contese, who will soon join us with his presentation, will show you the networking section. This is the main idea of having two different sections, two different registration process, one for the general audience and one for the high-level delegates, so that the networking could be with access granted to the different levels of users. So without any further information, I will pass the floor to my friend and colleague, Ricardo Contese, who will explain us the website and the different features that we will have ready for you. Ricardo, the floor is yours.
Yeah, hello to everyone. I will show you the website that we have and for this project. So first I want to show you that we are working on the website. This is the state of the website now. We have the registration part, and we have the agenda that you can see all the events that are in this conference. No, and now we have this website that has the development now. That if you see, you will see always a link to the home, to the on-demand content, to the auditorio, to the networking area, to the expo stands, to library, and there's section for CMI, for MI, and for the host. No, you will have an agenda link and my account link that you can change your profile, and you can have you will have a help section for all the browsing and working with the platform. Okay. Now, if we see the project that we have for CMI, this is the prototype. I would show you the prototype, and then I would show you the state of the platform now. The platform give you full access to all content, to the auditorium, to trigger talks, to events, to videos, and the information of CMI members and MI members. Okay, this is the menu of the platform that has the link for every section. This is some prototype for auditorio. We will have a live streaming all the week so we can have content that is streaming, and we have a chat for communication, and you can see the complete agenda, or you can see, or you can watch, sorry, you can watch all the on-demand content that is going to be for the assistants. Okay, then we have we have another version. You will see, you are seeing version of the designs now. Then we have an event. You can put in your calendar, or you can see, you just want to see it, you can see it. You will have the stand, the expo, so you can go for one pavilion. There's gonna be 3 pavilions: the Atacama Pavilion, Andes Pacifico Pavilion, and Patagonia Pavilion. And then you can see a stand, and you can watch videos for that company, services, projects, energy projects, and there is gonna be 36 stands in 3 pavilions. Then you have the About CMI section. Has all the information of the CMI, and got subpages here, so you can see text, some information about this version of the conference, the Secretariat, and with his bios, members like as flags, and members as a photograph. Each country has a profile. You can see important data of each country here, and subpage of each one. We are now uploading to the website all this information, and as an overview, speakers, energy projects, related events at the auditorium of this country, research and library documents. This is an example of Chile too. So it's going to be information of each country. Each member is going to have a profile, and each country going to have a profile of people that are in that country. This is a section about Chile, the host of CMI. So you can see it's going to be some information about Chile, life and culture, tourism, adventure, business and export, and some documents to download. Okay, this is the MI section. It has information about MI, ministers. I'm going very fast because I want to show you the website. This is designs, members. You have an overview of one country of MI member, like Canada, with all subsections. And this is the library that we are preparing. The library is going to have like 200 documents. It's going to have a filter by category. So you will navigate or browse documents here that every members are saying to us. Okay. So now I'm gonna work. We want to show you like a prototype that we are working on it. You know, this is just a website that is hide for public, but I want to show you the networking area that we are working. Networking is gonna be very exciting because you're gonna have the ability to browse people profiles and you can go by country, by category, expertise, and you can see what people are online and offline, so you can filter. And if some people is online, you can ask for a meeting right now, like with one button, no? And so you can see this profile of these people that is already registered in the platform. You can see that you can request a meeting. We are developing a platform for meeting very fast, like very similar to this platform that we are using right now. It's gonna send you an email, so you just press the button and you're gonna be in the meeting for these people, and you can start a chat. I'm sorry. And then, or you can add this contact to my contact. So because you're gonna have a profile like my account in this platform, and you're gonna you can change your bio or your data or your expertise. No, and you're always gonna update. We are now announcing. We have announcing today that we are going to open my account section today, so everyone can. Everyone that is general public can change his that. So I can here save my contact. I can here save my favorite on-demand content on my favorite stands, and I can change my settings like I said. And well, look, you can log out, no? And the auditorio that is we are working on it. We have the all the content that are uploaded there, and I just want to show you now the expo. The expo has a design like has 3 pavilions, and you can go like in the pavilion. You're gonna move like this, like a 3D version of this of a pavilion now, and then you can go to one stand and visit. Okay, and then I just pass the floor to the next person, and I will answer a question in the question part of this meeting. Okay.
Just a few remarks before we end this presentation. Thank you, Ricardo. We were talking about registration. Registration has it's related to the networking and to the plenary and live sections of CEM 12. All the features that you can have on your profile are available to all users, but the networking will have you will have access to network only with people at your same level. If you're a general user, you could networking with all general users. If you're a delegation member, you could network between delegation members, and ministers will have a special room to network like bilateral meetings. So this is why we need your information of your delegates on the spreadsheet, so that we can program these different access levels to the networking and also to the plenary. We have 2 platforms for this. I mean, all the networking and the auditorium will be accessible through the website, but the plenary will be held on a Zoom webinar, and we also need your emails to give you different access to the plenary section. So this is what I wanted to highlight. We are open. I think that's the moment for questions and answers. Open ground.
Ricardo, we'll wait. If it's okay, we'll wait to the end of the whole presentation, and then we'll ask people to have questions. Okay?
Okay,
so
no
with
problem.
That, then, no problem then. We'll go on to my colleague Elena, who will be presenting now the Ministerial Plenary. Thank you.
Yes, hello everybody. This is Elena Levin from the CEM Secretariat. Sorry, my internet doesn't work very well, so I will not put my camera on, but I hope you can hear me well. Although I hear some noise in the background. So if people could mute their mics, that would be great. Thank you. So on
I think we lost Elena. Did everyone else lose Elena too?
I think I was muted. I think
I think so. Can you, Elena, can you start again? Because I think you were muted right at the beginning. Sorry about that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, because I heard the noise disappeared, but I also disappeared together with the noise. Sorry about that. So I'll start again. So the plenary is a culmination of the year of the CEM. This is a high-level segment where ministers and the heads of the observer organizations get together for a high-level dialogue on their clean energy transition goals and actions, and also how they work together. So first, I would like to stop for a minute on the structure of the plenary. So the plenary will be divided into 3 main parts. Each has its own topic. So unlike last year, where we had only one theme for the whole plenary, this time we have different topics for each part of the plenary. So part 1 topic is supercharging scale. The topic of part 2 is supercharging sectors. And part 3 is focusing on the societies. And the overall theme of the plenary is turning ambition into action. So all countries are divided into 3 groups, largely following the sun. But because we only have 3 groups, we had to mix a little bit. And so you may see some European countries in the 3rd section, which is Americas. But this is just to make sure that we have equal number of countries and observer organizations in each session. So the plenary will open by Minister Joubert and the keynote address from Michael Bloomberg. The whole plenary will be moderated by Melinda Crane. And so ministers and observer organizations will be mixed in each session. We will not have any keynote addresses for each of the plenary parts or scene-setting presentations. And the closing part will include comments from and closing remarks from Minister Joubert and also the host of the CEM 13, which is going to be the US. In terms of the interventions in the plenary sections, so because each section has its own topic, we hope that interventions could focus on the topic of the session, but of course also on the topic of the whole plenary. And of course, ministers are welcome to mention other things that are important to them. We also hope that ministers could mention their actions and collaboration in the CEM, in the work streams, and also their commitment to the CEM in general and its new phase with enhanced ambition. We heard from our members that they would like the plenary to be dynamic and interactive and interesting for the ministers. So in order to facilitate that, we, together with the Chilean host, worked to have a moderator that will hopefully make it a little bit more interesting and dynamic for everybody. We have also discussed with the Minister Joubert's team that he may intervene in different parts of the plenary in a little exchange with ministers. And we're also looking for opportunities for ministers to make comments in other sessions where they don't speak with their interventions. And we have also asked all of you if you would like to have an interaction or pass over to another minister so that we create a little bit of a sense of a dialogue, even though it's very difficult in such a limited time span. So we really hope that you will also work with us and respond to our requests for responses from you, whether your minister would like to be asked a question or would like to intervene with Minister Joubert or with another minister. That will help us to design the plenary better. Just one last point on the plenary. Between these sessions, we plan to have a short presentation from the youth organization, or 2 youth organizations, in fact. We're working with them on the poll for the youth with some questions that are relevant to the theme of the plenary. So if you're younger than 35, or if you have colleagues that are in that age category, please fill in the questionnaire. I think my colleague Denise will share the link to that poll, or we can share it later. So the results of the poll, the voices from the youth, will be presented in the plenary very briefly to show you what the young generation thinks about those issues that the ministers will be intervening on. So I think that's it. And yeah, if you have any questions later, I'll be happy to respond. But again, just to emphasize that the countries and heads of international organizations will be mixed in those 3 sessions. And you can see the list of countries right now on your screen, and the exact order of interventions will be developed over coming days. When we hear back from all of you with the issues that you would like to bring up, or whether you would like to have a little interaction with the moderator, Minister Jube, we will design the exact order and come back to you with that information. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Elena. And now we're going to go over to Sharbadit for the target outcomes, please. Thank you.
Thanks, Jane. Thanks, Elena. Yes, so I'll take you through quickly about what are the kind of intended target outcomes sought from CEM 12. As you've already seen from Elena, I mean, it's pretty exciting in the plenary itself, but that's not all. Many things are happening, and I don't think we have had as many events in any past CEM ministerial meetings. So other than the plenary, which Elena just has taken you all through, there are over 40 CEM events which are taking place either as live events, auditorium events, or on-demand events. And there are also some high-level trigger talks, which you would have already seen now in the agenda. In addition, the online platform, as Javiera mentioned, also allows for networking opportunities and provides a library with a collection of reports and other content. Next, Jane. This CEM is also very special this year because we are also getting into the action for the next phase of the CEM, which we fondly, as many of you are aware, call CEM 3.0. So we look forward to the ministerial statement to that effect. Some of you are perhaps already aware, we are eagerly also hoping to see Poland and Portugal join as new members of the Ministerial. Next. And like other years, we are not letting just the online format limit us to just announcement for new launches. We have the much anticipated launches of the Industrial Deep Decarbonization Initiative, which is being co-led by the governments of India and UK, and the launch of the Empowering People Initiative, which is co-led jointly by Canada, European Commission, and the US. And you would be happy to note that many members have already expressed interest to participate in these different initiatives. And in case you and your delegations have not yet expressed interest, please do reach out to us at the Secretariat or to the coordinators as mentioned on this slide. Next, please. Other than the initiatives, CEM 12 is also seeing the launch of the BioFuture campaign with 5 co-leads building on the BioFuture platform initiative, which was launched last year. And under the CEM Hydrogen Initiative, we will also see the launch of the Hydrogen Ports Coalition at CEM 12. You would be happy to note here that we already have interest from over 20 ports from around the world, whether it's from Australia or New Zealand on the eastern front, or Brazil and Canada on the western front. We have a significant number of ports who are joining up as part of this cause. If you are interested again for both these activities, please do reach out to us at the CEM Secretariat, so we are able to guide you to the right folks. Next. Speaking of that, there is this saying that's not all, folks. In this case, we also have, other than the launches, the work streams are also making new announcements to indicate a raised ambition for clean energy deployment. These range across from product efficiency, scenario building, to power system flexibility and zero emission vehicles. I'm not going into the details of each of these because these will take a lot of time. Jane, next. And in addition to these announcements, which are all indicative of raised ambitions for these specific work streams, we will also see the launch of a large number of high-level reports These are again across a host of different topics as well. As you can see on the screen, ranges from smart grids, from our ISGAN initiative to EVs and nuclear. Next, Jane. One more. And finally, and I promise you that this is the last slide, the CEM 12 will also see the award announcements, an opportunity for us to recognize the movers and shakers on various clean energy topics. This time we have the ISGAN and C3 awards taking place. Hard work behind the awards process is already concluded, but with that I'll also kind of leave you all with the fact that we are also expecting some new messages and announcements of future award plans, such as taking forward work on the already existing Energy Management Leadership Awards, for instance. And that's all, folks, from me. As is evident from all these outcomes that I just mentioned, there is definitely something for everyone that is being offered at CEM 12. So, please do spread the word, at least of all these different outcomes that I just spoke to you about. So thank you, and over to you, Jane.
Thank you. And now over to Denise, please, for some words on communications. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Jane. And I hope that little taste that you've seen of CEM 12 has started to get you excited. I think that now that we see it all sort of coming together, you'll feel like all the hard work has actually got a purpose and a coherence. So the problem with all of this, of course, is that everyone's so bogged down in their work that if we don't do some communications promotion, we could have a fantastic event and no one watching. So we absolutely are trying to avoid that. So I wanted to give you some feedback on some of the things that are happening and some of the ways that you can help, because we very much need your help in promotion. So the organisers of side events received some information from us earlier on about communications, and when they first proposed their events, they suggested to us some ways that they might be able to promote their own events. And we'd just like to say now is the critical moment. We're very keen for you to step in and do the promotions that you suggested amongst your own communities. The producer team have communications people working with them, and they're promoting particularly the event overall, generic messaging to the Spanish community, but they're also very keen to share your messaging, and as are we in the Secretariat. So they are working across Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and LinkedIn. The Secretariat's using Twitter and LinkedIn. And on the slide and also in the comms guide that you would have received, you'll see the links to connect with that. And please do make sure that you tag us in everything. We want to be able to post on your posts as well to spread the word as far and wide as possible. In our communications, we're particularly quoting the CEM MI6 Chile link and the CEM Secretariat, and we'd be very grateful if you would tag us in your communications too. Some of you have got much broader communities than we ourselves have, and we really rely on you to get the word out as far and wide as possible. So whether you're an event organizer, a steering committee member, a member, an official observer to the CEM, or a member of our broader clean energy community, you're all invited to be part of this communications. On the slide here, you'll see, and in more detail in the comms kit, we've put details of our members' social media accounts, and in the communications kit, there are details of the CEM work streams, which you're invited to tag as well. We would suggest that if you are planning to do social media, if you've got a schedule, that you share it with us so that we can post as well at the same time and support your events, or that we can, if you tag us, that we can repost on yours as well. If you have any queries around communications, there are 3 contacts on that slide. Please contact me if you've got queries around CEM events, Trinidad Pratt, if you've got queries around any communications associated with Minister Jobe or the ministry itself in Chile. And Andrea Saladon, if you've got queries about the generic messaging going out on the campaign, or if you want them to share some of your event messaging. The broader we spread this, the better. So we're really looking forward to your support on that. Elena mentioned the survey that's going out. We'll be sending out these slides after the event, and we'll make sure that the link to the survey is included. If you would share it with your youthful communities as far and wide as possible, we'd really like to get a breadth of global input into that youth survey. And lastly, just to say, we have had some approaches from CNBC who would be interested in doing high-level interviews with ministers or heads of international organisations. If you have anyone that you think you'd like to propose to that, if you feel free to get in touch with us here at the Secretariat, and we'll make sure to put you in contact. Thank you very much. Oh, sorry, Jane, I'll just carry on one more slide. We've put in the pack, thank you. We've put in the pack a schedule of, it's a draft of some of the messaging we hope to be putting out on particular days, but we're hoping to add your key messaging to that as well. So please do send them in to us so we can broaden the scope of this in addition to what we're planning ourselves. Thank you.
Thanks, Denise.
Jane?
Yes.
If I just can add something, I think Germany, Sven asked how can, no, sorry, Juho asked how can we expand this communication and the contents of the platform, the agenda and all the function. And he said that the event really deserves to get thousands of participants. I want to tell the good news that we already had a lot of registered people. So we think that the event, it's getting where we want. But to enlarge the number of subscribers and achieve the goal to have the broader virtual event that we have ever dreamed, it depends in the whole community. So we are relying on you to please be act, I don't know, kind of a megaphone to transmit your information and our own information, so we can be make a stronger community on the information that we spread. We'll have different areas of communication, and we'll also include the use and the features of the platform. So that will be really helpful. Sorry, if you help us to make it more visible and for your communities and for the whole energy community.
Thanks, Javiera. So that does bring us to the end of the actual presentation today. I think I've seen some questions coming through the chat, but quite a few of them have been answered as we've gone. I don't know if any of my colleagues have seen ones that haven't yet been answered in the course of the presentation, because I think those came through. But if anyone else has any other questions, then please do let us know through the chat function, either write them in or ask for the floor. If I have a look back through the questions that we've seen, I think we've answered them all. Sorry, bear with me while I read through. I think Ricardo already answered the question about the link. Yes, indeed. There was a question about maximizing publicity, but I think that, again, my colleague Denise probably answered that in the communication slide. So again, I think the question that Sven put about the order of interventions was also answered by Alina in her plenary slide. Now I think I'm coming down to some newer questions coming through. So there's one here, sorry, they're skipping at the same time. Can we post the 1-minute videos to promote the side events on our websites and networks as well? Can I put that one potentially to Javiera? This is one of the questions that I think you've been asking for 1-minute videos for side events, which we're using for promotional communications. So I think that's one that we can sort of talk about in terms of the social media, putting things out. That could go to Javiera or Denise.
Absolutely, you're the owner of your event, so as much as you want to communicate, it will be useful for all the events. So if you want to spread the word, go on. It's very good for us as well. So if you want to communicate and make a big publicity of your own event, it will help the whole event as well. So feel free to do that.
Thank you. I can see another question coming in saying, can we share the link of the side events once it is broadcasted? Again, maybe that one to Javiera, obviously between the auditorium and the on-demand things, there may be a bit of an explanation there.
As both Ricardos said, once the content is showcased in the auditorium, you will be able to find it easily, like a Netflix platform, on the on-demand section. So if your event is not in the auditorium, it will be always easy to find in the on-demand section. If not, once when it is had been showcased, you will be able to find it in the platform as well. So this works exactly like a Netflix platform. You can put the name of your event and you will find it in the platform easily.
Thank you. And again, in terms of sharing the link, I think there was a question about that, but I think that certainly sharing links to actually go into the on-demand platform throughout the week is encouraged. Again, please do that, and so that would be super. There's a question here to the side event production team. Will we be able to see the recording of a side event before it's released? So maybe this is for Ricardo.
Yes, we are producing 28 side events and 8 to 15 trigger talks, and almost 6 or 8 high quality and high definition videos for the plenaries and live events. So we are trying to get all things done in time. We first have to go through the host's approval, and once we have the host approval, we will be able to share it with you. So I cannot assure a timing on this, but we are working to get the host's approval and then go through you before it gets into the auditorium. But I cannot confirm that we cannot have a deadline on that, a precise deadline.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Another question actually about side events. So will side event agendas be shared publicly on the event website? So I think that's
they're already in the agenda in the registration page. So if you download the agenda, you will find first the auditorium events, but in the next pages, you can find all the other side event events that will be showcased during that week.
I think I assume maybe they mean the more detailed agenda of each event, and I think that more information is going to go on later this week. Is that right? So by the 20th this week or something like that, will be some more information shared on the website. Is that correct, with more detail on each of the events?
Yes, we're filling the platform with all the information. It's not easy. It's a huge amount of information, but we're trying to be as fast, and not me, Ricardo are being as fast as they can, so we can have available the information in the platform as soon as possible. We have the dream or the goal to open with not all the features, but a little bit earlier than the 31, the platform, so you can see and put in your agenda all the side events that you're interested to participate with, the speakers, with the description and all the features of each event itself. So that I make a call on that. There are many organizers that haven't sent all the information. So for us, it's really difficult to upload all the speakers, the description. So if you haven't sent yet your description, please do it as soon as possible.
Thank you. I think the next question is about, to clarify, will Zoom be used for the entire ministerial plenary and side events, or is StreamYard also being used? Thank you. I think Ricardo probably is the best person to answer this.
We're going to use Zoom webinars for the plenary, for the live launch, and we are using StreamYard for recording the side events. Side events will be fully edited once it goes into the auditorium to be broadcasted to all audiences.
Thank you. Oh, and here's a question I've heard actually before, which is of interest to quite a lot of people. What happens to the videos after the CEM is over? Can we post them on our own websites? And perhaps Javier or Ricardo could answer this one.
This is the ownership of the platform will be from the secretariat. Sorry, after we finish the event. So it will be online for an amount of time, but after that, the secretariats are the owners of the content, and they can say, or they can decide whatever they want to do with the content that it's uploaded.
Thank you.
Ricardo has another.
Yes, over that we are uploading the videos to a Vimeo platform so that we can from there stream it into the auditorium. Maybe, and this is a decision from the host and from the CEM Sec, maybe this Vimeo page could be shared with your organizations so that you can embed the outcome to your pages. But this is something that we should have authorization on the host and then the secretariat. But we will have those videos. There will be available. We just have to check on how to do it and how to share it with you.
Thank you. And certainly, I think from the CEM point of view, of course, we will keep those videos on the CEM website. But for those people who also would like to put them on their own websites, I think that would be great as well, as long as it obviously has the CEM identification on it still. So that'd be super. We encourage all wide sharing of all the super work that you're doing. So another question. So is this just a question or a statement? Thank you for sharing the produced videos a few days before actually releasing to the public. That's a thank you.
We're ready for it. Yes.
And then a last question here. Will you be sharing more information on how to participate as a chat counterpart? Ah, yes. So the chat counterpart, for those who don't know, are for the on-demand, for all pre-recorded, sorry, events. There will be someone from the organising party that will be there live to answer questions that are fielded during the showing of the event during the actual CEM week. So some people may wish to have a little bit more, yes, a little bit more guidance on what that might involve. Thanks, Ricardo.
Yes. We are going through that discussion. We have several options to make this happen, and they have different pros and cons. For instance, we are dealing with to make each section in the auditorium. Will that event will be one section or a whole section, a whole video section that will have different options for the chatting area. If we have a whole section, it will be one chat, and we may not have the option to cut and save the chatting in one section through another, and it will be only one chat through all the event. But this is not only for chat reasons. We should go through the technical advantages of going in sections or in going just in one big section for the day. So we haven't been able to clarify this or to make a decision through the technical stuff. That's why we don't have this information to share with you right now, but should be taking, we should take a decision today or tomorrow on this and get back to you with how it's going to be held, this chat counterpart. We will have the chat area. We just haven't decided in which format.
Thanks, Ricardo. I don't see any more questions coming through at the moment. I'll just give it a few more minutes, or if anyone actually would like to speak, that's also possible. Just let us know through the chat function if you have additional questions. I don't see anything else coming through. Is anyone wanting to add anything else from any of the presenters? Any additional information that you think might be helpful before we close the meeting today? Nobody from my team? Well, I think in that case, this has been a very helpful meeting, I think. I hope that you found it helpful as well. We are, of course, available for any questions, additional questions that may come up. As we said, this meeting has also been recorded today, so we can share that link afterwards. We'll share it with all the community so that those who didn't come can also watch. But of course, we're very, very excited to see you in a couple of weeks' time. And as I say, do not hesitate with any questions you may have. We will endeavour to answer them. I'm sure that some will come up throughout the next few days. So, but with that, we will say that we look forward to seeing you. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.